Yo, what is going on, guys? So in this video, I want to talk about why you can't outrun a poor diet and the importance of nutrition when it comes to fat loss, when it comes to muscle gain. So here's the thing. During your fitness journey, your fat loss journey, you are going to see most of your results with nutrition. That's where most of your results are going to come from, right? If your diet and nutrition is dialed in, you're probably going to see some great results. But if you are solely relying on activity and exercise, you're probably not going to see the results you want. And this is a common question I get, right? Hey, Bach, I'm working out every single day, multiple hours a day, but I'm not seeing the results I want. I'm not losing weight. Why is that? Well, I can totally understand why you're frustrated with that, because that'd be really frustrating, for sure, right? You're working out every day, you're sweating, you're pushing yourself, but you're not seeing the results you want. I'm going to tell you why you can't outrun a poor diet and why you shouldn't be putting your training, your exercise over your nutrition. So let's say you step on the treadmill, right? You go on the treadmill for an hour, you burn a few hundred calories. That's great. But the thing is, you can eat back those few hundred calories in a matter of minutes, right? Isn't that kind of crazy? So that's why we shouldn't be relying on burning a bunch of calories from exercise to create that calorie deficit. I mean, that's not how we're going to see results. How you are going to see results is by dialing in that diet and nutrition, right? If you could be close to perfect, or really consistent with one thing, if you had to choose between that nutrition and the exercise, obviously you'd want to be doing both. Both are very important. They go hand in hand. But if you had to choose one to be more consistent with, it would be the diet, the nutrition. That's where you're going to create that calorie deficit, and that's how you're going to see your results. Because you can do all the exercise you want. You could train all you want. You can hit the gym every single day. But if your diet and nutrition are not dialed in, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot. And that's really what happened to me when I first started losing weight. I would just do a bunch of cardio. And then what happens was I did a bunch of cardio and exercise all day, and I was so hungry, I would just eat back all the calories I burned. And it was kind of like, hey, now I'm at like a standstill. Is it even worth it? Right? And I got frustrated. But as I learned, hey, it's important to be mindful of how much you're eating. Yeah, I know it's kind of polarizing. I know a lot of people, they don't want to track how much they're eating. But it could be a great idea to track how much you're eating, especially your calories and your protein. That's why I have most clients track. If they do track their calories and protein, it's because it's kind of eye-opening to see how much you're eating. If you're a beginner, if you're someone who's not really versed in nutrition, it's probably in your best interest to start tracking your food, keeping a food log, and just start seeing how much you're eating, right? Because if you've never seen that before, it's really tough to kind of understand. You might be saying, oh, I don't really eat much. I probably eat like 1,200 calories. But drinks, snacks, going out to eat on the weekends, stuff like that, the calories can add up really quickly. You could be out of your deficit, and you're going to be clawing your way back, on your Peloton or treadmill, trying to burn those calories, trying to sustain that, but it's not sustainable, right? And that's why you can't outrun a poor diet. You can burn all the calories you want. An hour of running is only going to burn a few hundred calories, though. That's the thing. And you know that you can eat a few hundred calories in a matter of minutes. So that's why it's important to understand that you can exercise all you want, but if you are not being mindful of your calories, if you're not being mindful of your nutrition, it's going to be incredibly difficult to see the results you want. And I don't want you to keep spinning your wheels. I don't want you to just sit there and be frustrated and not see results. So think to yourself like, hey, how's my diet? How's my eating? Is it going pretty well? If it's not, you definitely want to kind of fine tune that and have a more wide view of it and think like, hey, okay, maybe I'm not being honest with my tracking, right? Maybe I'm not being honest with my food tracking, because it is tough to be honest with it, right? It's tough to be consistent with it, with the food tracking. But taking a few minutes out of your day to kind of track what you're eating, that could get the ball rolling. And when you get that ball rolling and you start seeing those results, could be motivating for you to keep pushing and keep going forward. So if you are someone who relies on activity and exercise to burn all their calories, and you just eat whatever you want and however much you want, you're not going to see the results you deserve. And you deserve great results. I want that for you. But in order to see those results, I really do think that it'd be in your best interest to start tracking your food. And you don't have to track it to the very blueberry. I'm not saying that. But I do think that if you're a beginner with nutrition, if you're kind of new to this, you can learn a lot. You can learn a lot from tracking your food for a little bit, right? It's not a permanent thing. You don't have to be tracking it every day for the rest of your life. But it can give you a great kind of sense of, like, hey, this is how much this is, or this is how much protein is in this, and now I kind of got a good idea of it. So there it is. That's why nutrition is super important, and your diet and nutrition should be dialed in. And of course, keep doing exercise, keep being active. I want you to do that, but don't rely on it when it comes to fat loss, when it comes to weight loss, because you need that proper nutrition to see the results you want. See you guys.